Hi friends! Today we're making something really special, this vintage inspired flower power groovy ghost. I love dressing up as a groovy ghost myself. I'll wear a big vintage sheet and wear that as a costume, but that's only for one day. Instead, let's make this craft where we can have vintage sheet ghosts all over our house. Here are the supplies that you'll need. So for this project, you're gonna want to use a styrofoam ball, or you could use like a tennis ball. And then I decided to go through my recycling and pick out some recyclables that would work well. I also used peanut containers, that kind of stuff. Now let's talk about fabric. These were made using vintage sheets, and I'll link some of those below. This one was made using a vintage pillowcase. And then I'm gonna use this retro vintage inspired fabric. It's not actually vintage, it's from Spoonflower and it's from my fabric line. This is fabric that I had designed because I love it so much and it's super groovy and exactly what I want for these groovy ghosts. So I will link this fabric below, and then I will also link some groovy pillowcases and some cute vintage sheets that you can buy. Okay, so the first step is we have to hot glue the styrofoam ball into a recyclable. I got this idea to make these ghosts on Pinterest. I saw that people used like white napkins to make white ghosts, and then I decided to use vintage sheet and retro inspired prints instead. And those instructions, they said that they used ball jars instead. I just feel like it's a shame to cover up a ball jar. There's like other uses for it, so that's why I'm using recyclable. So I put the hot glue around the rim, so I'm going to push my styrofoam ball into it. Hold it there for a little while so that it'll stay in place. Okay, so I want to use a pillowcase for this one. We want to make sure that the fabric is big enough that it will reach all the edges, which it definitely does. I'm going to cut this pillowcase apart. Okay, the pillowcase is all cut up, so let's drape our fabric over the little styrofoam mold that we have here. Okay, so I'm making sure that at least on these ends, that the ends are touching the table. Now I have a lot of excess fabric over here, so I'm gonna roughly cut around it. If anything, I'm gonna cut a little bit extra because if I cut it too short, then I won't be able to do anything about it. I'm going to be creating some fabric scraps by doing this because I'm going to have a lot of excess cutoffs. And I do have a blog post with 12 different ways to use up fabric scraps, and I will link that below. So I'm really just rough cutting it. It's not a big deal. We'll fix it later. Okay, so this ghost is a little too droopy, so we got to make sure that we cut off enough. Our goal is to make it look like this, how the fabric is just barely not touching the table. So the way I'm going to do that is I need to cut off this excess, and so I'm going to bunch it all up and roughly cut around this. And you don't have to be precise because we're going to fix it later. Okay, and I'm going to save my scraps because I always use those. So now let's take a look. It's starting to get a little better, but there's still a little extra, so I'm going to take this off, lay it flat on my table, and I'm going to cut like around ½ an inch around, and this is where I'm going to smooth it out and make it as perfect of a circle as I can. Right now, I mean, look at how bad it looks. It's not a perfect circle at all. Definitely needs some help. So I'm going to take my time and even it out right now. Make sure you don't cut off too much though, because then you might start to see the underside. I'm sure a lot of you are asking, am I really going to leave these edges raw? And my answer is yes, I definitely am. I do a lot of vintage sheet products and I don't finish the edges. For instance, I make this vintage sheet bunting, which if you don't know what bunting is, it's like these like little triangle fabric flags, and I never finish the edges of those, and those even blow in the breeze when I have the windows open, and I've never had anything fray ever. And even if the edges do fray, it's just gonna make it look more spooky. Okay, this is a pretty even circle now. It looks a lot less choppy, so let's see how it looks. Okay, this is starting to look pretty good. Let's even it out. Yeah, this looks good to me. It's like just barely touching. I think I like it that way, that this one is touching. A lot of the ones that I made already, they are above. So I think I'm gonna make this one a little different, and I'm gonna have it touch the ground. So now that we have our circle cut out, if you have a lot of products, like recycled products that are the same size, then you can use this circle as a template. So these ghosts are peanut containers, and I cut out one of those circles the way that I showed you where I pushed it down. But then I used the circle that I made, and I just used that as a template for the other one that I had. So that makes it a little easier, and then you don't have as many scraps. So now let's cut out a circle of my fabric. These are different sizes, but I just used this one as a template, and I cut extra around the whole thing. So let's see how it turned out. Okay, we have plenty of fabric to work with. I'm gonna cut off some more excess. So then the next step is to make some little eyes and a mouth if you want to do that. I have some felt pieces here. Just like I save all my fabric scraps, I also save all my felt scraps too, because you never know when you're going to need tiny little bits of felt. So I have a few different circles cut out so I can decide what color I like. I'm thinking either orange or white. What color looks better? I think orange sticks out more. Let's do orange. I also have black on these brown ones. I think that looks really cute. Oh, and for these smaller ones, I used yogurt cups. And then I had thrifted some of these little cone-shaped styrofoam things. Those worked really well for the smaller ghosts. So I'll link styrofoam balls below, and then I will also link some of these cone-shaped ones too if I can find them. Okay, so to cut out the felt, I'm just going to make a teeny tiny little oval. If anything, I'm going to make a big oval, and then I can always cut it smaller. It does not need to be perfect. Well, I think that looks pretty good. So then I'm going to make another one. Fabric scissors work really well for doing this type of thing. It cuts through this type of fabric and then also through felt really well. So if you don't have fabric scissors yet, you should definitely get some. I will link them below. But before I could buy fabric scissors, I just used a sharp pair of regular scissors, and that worked great. I like that size. So then for a mouth, we just need a little circle. I already have some of those cut. I like the little ooh, because it's saying boo. But of course, maybe you could use some yarn and make a little smile, or if you want them to be like an angsty ghost, you could use a little frown. This is your ghost. You make it however you want. I think I like orange for this one too. So now we gotta glue it. The first step is we want to even out this fabric as much as possible because we're going to be gluing this fabric onto the styrofoam ball. So you don't want one end to have too much on one side. Oh, and what happens if you cut your fabric and you cut it too short, or you want to use a special type of fabric and you don't have quite enough? That's what I did with these yogurt ones. I had a square piece of fabric out of this and it was not big enough. So I pushed it all to the front, but if you look at the back, you can totally start to see the yogurt cup, but no one's gonna look at the back, so who cares? So if you cut a piece too short, just push it all to the front and the two sides and let the back be short. Plus then you can see the little ghost booty and that's cute. Okay, so like this side is a little too long, this side's a little too short, so I'm gonna push some of the fabric forward. That looks better. And then we also want kind of a flat spot in the front where we're gonna put the eyes. I'm not gonna make this the front because this has a huge crease in it, so the eyes would be kind of lopsided. This is gonna be my front. What I'm gonna do is, I like this position. I'm gonna hold the fabric on top and I'm gonna drape this back. So I'm holding it in place so it's not moving. And then I'm going to put like a medium size bead. Not too much because we don't want to see it through the fabric. And then I'm going to push it down and hold it in place. When the hot glue is wet, you are able to adjust it. So if you make a mistake, you can kind of shimmy it around. If you don't think you made a mistake, then be sure to hold it in place while the glue dries. Now, I said that we don't want to do too much in the front, but in the back, I'm going to do a lot more because I don't want this to accidentally come off. So again, I'm going to hold this in place. I'm holding this where I glued it, and I'm going to drape this back. Now this is the back of the ghost head, so who cares what this looks like? We're just gonna glue it up. Drape it and push it down. Perfect, now that fabric's not gonna go anywhere. Now let's do the other one. Make sure you have your fabric on the correct side too before you do it. That looks perfect, so I'm gonna hold it in place, drape it back, glue a medium-sized blob, drape it forward, and hold it for a little bit while it dries. Now we're going to hold it in that spot and glue the back. You could probably use Elmer's glue, something like that for this project, but then you'd have to wait constantly for it to dry. So that's why I like hot glue. So now let's glue on the eyes and the mouth. I'm going to draw a little line on the oval from top to bottom. Push it right on the fabric. Then I'm going to glue the mouth, so I'm just going to do a little dollop. Boo! Yay! Alright, let's do this one. Now you can see the difference between new fabric and vintage fabric. If you buy a vintage sheet or a vintage pillowcase that has been used, so it's not like in its original package or something, this fabric is going to be way softer and breezier. If you buy new fabric from online or at like Joann's, it's going to be a lot stiffer because it's brand new. So it just depends on your preference. I like both. This one is newer fabric and it's a little bit stiffer, so whatever you like. I do like the white ghosts that people make, but I just think using your own type of fabric makes it a lot more special. Oh my gosh, it's so cute! And I love making multiple sizes because then I can have a little ghost family. It looks so cute. I honestly like these so much that, like, especially like this one, I might just keep out year round for spring and summer. I mean, ghosts are a year-round thing anyway, so why not? Are you going to give this craft a try? Let me know. If you like more vintage-inspired fall and Halloween crafts, I do have a blog post with other ideas, and I will link that below. I actually have another Halloween fall craft in the works. It's going to be making vintage Halloween paper candles. And I'm right in the middle of making them. It doesn't look like much, but it will look really cool when I'm done. They're going to be like creepy black flame candles for decorations. So if you're watching this and you think you're going to want to make some paper candles, start saving up your toilet paper rolls and your paper towel rolls because that's what I use them for. I will be posting that video later this month. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you give this craft a try. Happy crafting, friends!